Amazon founder Jeff Bezos tied the knot in Venice over the weekend in a modest little ceremony that reportedly cost just $50 million.
Oprah and Gail this weekend are in Venice watching their dear, dear lifelong friends, Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez, get married.
Jeff Bezos probably thought his $50 million wedding to Lauren Sanchez would cement him as America's answer to royalty. Private island, A-list guest list, designer, everything. But instead of wowing the world, the only thing people can't stop talking about is how Kylie Jenner's barely there dress hijacked the headlines, and Leonardo DiCaprio's awkward cameo turned into pure secondhand embarrassment. For a man who can buy entire cities if he wants to, Bezos seemed powerless when his own fairy tale got overshadowed by a reality star's viral outfit and an Oscar winner who looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. What should have been the ultimate power flex ended up being the internet's new favorite meme, proof that all the money in the world can't buy good taste, genuine love, or guests who actually want to be there. So how did this over-the-top wedding go from billionaire brag to tabloid cringe fest? Let's break down the mess, one scandal, one eye roll, and one regret at a time.
So they want us to be looking at this, Maureen, which is a real middle finger with the money splayed out Marie Antoinette moment.
Jeff Bezos didn't just marry Lauren Sanchez, he basically funded a full-blown marketing campaign disguised as a wedding. From the moment the first drone shots of the Italian coastline dropped, this was less about vows and more about visuals. Every detail, from the accidentally leaked guest list to Lauren wiping her entire Instagram before uploading perfectly polished wedding shots, screamed PR stunt. Insiders whispered that top-tier publicists were flown in just to manage paparazzi angles and secure the couple glossy magazine features. Why? Because Lauren Sanchez isn't just playing house. She's crafting her own celebrity empire brick by brick. And Bezos is her golden ticket. And look closer, did you catch that Vogue cover? Days after the wedding, Lauren popped up on the cover solo wedding gown and all, basically rebranding herself as Hollywood's newest it bride. Meanwhile, Bezos is leaning into this cool billionaire vibe like he's trying to shake off his robot CEO image. Critics say this wasn't a wedding, it was a pivot, a power play to crash the A-list club.
Saw A-lister after A-lister this morning: Oprah, the Jenners and Kardashians, Tom Brady, Usher, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jerry Seinfeld, Sydney Sweeney. The list goes on. Roughly 200 people were reportedly in attendance. A source tells people at the ceremony started with a performance by Matteo Bocelli. Lady Gaga also there, expected to perform this evening.
Even the choice of Italy, with its paparazzi-friendly coastline and mega yacht access, wasn't accidental. Everything about this day was staged to push headlines, viral posts, and millions of eyeballs toward the Bezos-Sanchez brand. Sure, rich people throw extravagant weddings all the time, but this wasn't some royal family tradition. It was a carefully calculated PR machine, complete with hush-hush influencer invites and suspiciously timed tabloid leaks. Because when you're that rich, you don't just say, "I do." You make sure the entire world can't look away while you do it. But what really made jaws drop wasn't just the spectacle. It was the oddball cast of characters they dragged into it. And that guest list? It's a wild story of its own. If you thought the Bezos-Sanchez wedding was just about love, think again. The guest list looked like a bizarre experiment. Tech billionaires, washed-up rock stars, influencers, and old money royals awkwardly mingling on an Italian yacht. Some names made sense, fellow billionaires and Hollywood power players, but others left people asking, why are they even here? Rumors flew that certain controversial politicians and scandal-ridden celebrities got invites just to boost tabloid buzz. One pop star supposedly performed for free because Bezos' wedding was exposure enough, right? Photos leaked in real time. Lauren laughing with reality TV stars, Bezos posing with crypto bros, everyone perfectly staged for maximum viral value. Guests whispered it felt less like a wedding and more like a press junket. Insiders claim a few VIPs didn't even want to be there, but showed up out of fear of losing favor with the world's second richest man. In the end, the oddball guest list proved one thing. This wasn't just a party, it was a flex. And that brings us to the fallout, because not everyone who showed up left with a smile.
I just know this was Anna Wintour's final straw. This is why she stepped down from Vogue. Why would you literally hire an entire island in Venice to wear this and have carpet at your wedding? They just take this from the Amazon offices. The more you look at it, the more you can't unsee this corporate carpet. It's a prime example of loads of money, but no style and no taste. They've gone for like the most expensive option with everything, and it's just not working at all.
Some celebs are now scrambling to distance themselves from the Bezos wedding circus. Not every A-lister who showed up on that floating spectacle left feeling like royalty. Some big names are already whispering they wish they'd stayed home. One insider claimed a few stars thought they were attending an intimate gathering, not a staged PR circus with drones buzzing overhead for viral clips. A famous actor was spotted ducking behind a marble column when paparazzi boats circled too close. He'd been promised total privacy. Another celeb stylist leaked that they'd begged their client not to go, fearing the tackiness might stick to their image like glitter you can't shake off. And then there's Leonardo DiCaprio. He came in under a pulled-down cap, tried to blend in with the catering staff, and bolted before the last champagne flute clinked. Some say he mumbled it felt more like a business conference than a celebration of love. Others spilled that a certain reality TV queen showed up grinning ear to ear but left fuming when she realized she wasn't the main headline. Lauren was. One musician's camp even hinted they felt tricked into performing for free, under the promise of historic exposure. Instead, they ended up background noise for Bezos' big rebrand. The awkward photos live on, but the regret is real, and you can bet some of these names won't risk a repeat invite. But awkward guests were just the beginning, because the wedding itself was packed with moments that screamed they were trying way too hard. From the moment guests stepped onto that mega yacht off the Italian coast, it was clear this wedding wasn't about saying, "I do." It was about screaming, "Look at us." The so-called intimate affair was dripping in cold, manufactured glitz. They flew in flowers from 4 different continents just to brag that the roses were flown in that morning. Rumor has it the ice sculptures alone cost more than most folks' houses, and melted before dessert even hit the tables. Then there was the ring delivery. An Amazon employee in a crisp tux literally crawled down the aisle with the rings tied to a velvet pillow. Some folks thought it was cute. Others found it painfully staged, like a corporate skit pretending to be heartfelt. And Lauren's dress, Dolce & Gabbana, tight as shrink wrap, sleeves for days, totally out of sync with that sweltering Mediterranean sun.
The dress. I can appreciate how beautifully made this is, but I just don't like it. I don't like her or Jeff Bezos for that matter, so I'm a little bit biased.
Guests whispered she looked more ready for a royal winter gala than a seaside summer vow swap. And let's not forget the cozy reception that required custom-built stages, drone shows, and carefully staged photo ops for exclusive leaks to every tabloid. Word is, staffers were told exactly when to applaud, when to clear out for drone shots, and when to stand still so the bride's train looked perfectly spread in every frame. Some insiders joked they half-expected confetti cannons to blast Bezos' face into the night sky. In the end, instead of heartfelt vows and real moments, the entire production felt like an audition reel for American royalty, a new dynasty built on money, hype, and headlines. But if you thought that was wild, wait until you see how the Kardashians wiggled into this spectacle, because you know they couldn't resist a spotlight like this. Of course, no over-the-top celebrity circus is complete without the Kardashian machine rolling in for a slice of the spectacle, and Lauren Sanchez's star-studded yacht wedding was no exception. Kim, Kris, and even Kendall were rumored to have RSVP'd months in advance.
Pointed out that Kylie's dress seems to have a rip there, whether intentional or not, I just don't think it looks good.
Eager to mingle with tech titans and sprinkle a little Silicon Valley sparkle onto their reality TV empire. Behind the scenes, insiders say Kim saw the Bezos bash as a prime networking moment, a chance to cozy up to Amazon's kingpin and subtly pitch new business ventures. There's talk she even floated an idea for a Kardashian-curated Amazon collection. Imagine next-day delivery on Skims or a wellness brand so you too can pretend you live in a $500 million yacht fantasy. Meanwhile, Kris Jenner, the ultimate momager, wasn't shy about working the crowd. Guests spotted her pulling aside power players, whispering in corners, and snapping selfies with every billionaire within arm's reach.
She's wearing a Valentino Spring 2006 worn on the runway originally by Gemma Ward. I love that she did not wear a necklace and just the earrings with the hair up. Here's another look at the dress on the runway.
She knows better than anyone that these weddings aren't about romance. They're about relationships, brand deals, and keeping the Kardashians trending for another decade. But not everyone was buying it. Some guests rolled their eyes when they saw Kim flanked by her own camera crew, casually filming reaction shots on deck. One source claimed a high-profile guest politely asked them to keep the cameras away, only to see the footage pop up on social media hours later. Subtlety isn't exactly the family brand. If anything, the Kardashians showing up made it crystal clear. This wedding wasn't just a private celebration, it was a headline factory. And no one churns headlines better than America's first family of reality TV. But if the Kardashians were busy milking the spotlight, one fashion icon's perfectly timed exit had everyone asking questions. Because when Anna Wintour walks out, you know there's more to the story. When Vogue's icy queen, Anna Wintour, appears at your wedding, you've officially declared it a fashion moment. But when she leaves before dessert is served, that's when the real gossip begins. Witnesses swear Anna slipped off the yacht just as the drone show started, right when the spectacle hit peak new money circus. Some say she couldn't stand the tacky overproduction. Others claim she found Lauren's look more costume than couture. Insiders whispered Anna's early exit was her subtle way of shading the whole affair. The woman who curates the Met Gala doesn't linger where taste goes to die. Some staff overheard her mutter about commercial vulgarity before she vanished into a waiting speedboat, leaving behind only a waft of Chanel No. 5 and a wake of speculation. For a wedding desperate to be an A-list affair, Wintour's disappearing act stung. But if her departure hinted at tasteless excess, the next detail exposed something even worse: billionaire hypocrisy at its finest. Here's what really made jaws drop: the jaw-clenching billionaire hypocrisy that hung over every champagne toast on that yacht. Jeff Bezos has spent years carefully shaping his public image into that of a forward-thinking philanthropist, vowing to save the climate, tackle inequality, and give back. But one look at this floating palace of indulgence told a different story entirely. Guests watched staff zip around on jet skis, yachts burned through thousands of gallons of fuel in a single weekend, and an entire fleet of private jets flew in VIPs.
These people are members of a party that's lecturing us on how we have to get rid of the oligarchy, right? Like Leonardo DiCaprio with his environmentalist lectures. How do you explain all the planes that were required, the private flights that took Oprah and Bill Gates and the rest there, Leo, and probably Leo too?
Some of whom preach sustainability to the masses while clocking more private air miles in a month than most of us do in a lifetime. It was excess on a scale that felt almost cartoonish. And while waiters served endangered seafood delicacies and fireworks cracked the sky, Bezos and his circle smiled for the cameras, blissfully ignoring the irony that this wedding's carbon footprint could power a small town for a year. And let's not forget the symbolism. In a world where regular folks are tightening belts just to afford groceries, this was a wedding that screamed, "We live on a different planet." Lauren's custom diamond ensemble alone reportedly cost more than some guests' entire net worth. Meanwhile, speeches about giving back were made over $10,000 bottles of vintage wine, as if the absurd display could be neatly offset by a generous donation later. For critics, this was the final nail. The wedding wasn't just a love story, it was a neon sign flashing what billionaire culture really looks like when no one bothers to hide it. Hypocrisy wrapped in white roses and drone shows. A reminder that the rich don't just live differently. They flaunt it while telling the rest of us to recycle more and drive less. But if you think the hypocrisy was bad, wait until you see the bigger play behind it, because this wedding wasn't just about vows and rings. It was about crowning America's next royal dynasty. Beyond the fireworks, yachts, and diamond dresses, Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding wasn't just about love. It was about legacy. This spectacle was a carefully staged coronation, positioning Bezos and Sanchez as America's next self-made royals. Think about it. Billionaires don't just throw a party this loud without a bigger purpose. By marrying a glamorous TV personality turned power player, Bezos isn't just remarrying, he's rebranding.
People kind of lost their minds when I called Lauren Sanchez's engagement ring small. This is her engagement ring. But honestly, Jeff must have seen that video because he upgraded her. She did not get a traditional wedding band like the rest of us. She got a wedding ring, which is legitimately triple the size of her pink diamond engagement ring. This rock is massive. I approve. It's incredible. It covers like from knuckle to knuckle, this ring.
This was the moment he shed the image of an awkward tech geek and stepped fully into the role of globe-trotting mogul, with a photogenic partner at his side. Together, they're building a new Bezos brand, part Hollywood, part Silicon Valley, part old-school monarchy. The over-the-top wedding, celebrity guest list, and tabloid headlines were all chess moves in their plan to cement a dynasty, one that's not just about Amazon packages, but power, influence, and a curated public fairy tale. They want you to watch, envy, and believe they're untouchable. And just like that, the wedding of the year wasn't really about I do. It was about we own it all. So when the last drone shot fades and the tabloids move on, what are we really left with? A $50 million circus that made sure Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez are now etched into the same pop culture lane as Hollywood royalty, whether we like it or not. They didn't just say I do, they said look at us, and they made sure the whole world couldn't look away. But here's the twist. No amount of yacht parties or Vogue covers can buy genuine charm or timeless legacy. The Kennedys had it. The Windsors have it. For better or worse. Bezos and Sanchez, they're trying to buy it. Stitch by stitch, selfie by selfie. Maybe it'll work. Maybe we'll keep feeding their fairy tale because, let's be honest, it's the kind of train wreck you can't help but watch. If you made it this far, I know you've got thoughts, so drop your take in the comments below. Do you think Bezos and Lauren can really pull off this American royalty act? Or is it all going to crumble when the hype dies down? Smash that like button if you love a good celebrity train wreck. Hit subscribe for more deep dives.